Top news of the day. Berine Sanders has refused to run in the U.S. presidential election. The increase in corona victims in the United States is 2,000 for the second day in a row. $1.6 billion released in Iran. New evidence of Chinese secrecy and the lack of timely warning from the World Health Organization, this time in Italy. Berine Sanders has refused to run in the U.S. presidential election. Vermont Sen. Berine Sanders, the Democratic nominee of the U.S. presidential election, ended his campaign on Wednesday, April 8. Mr. Sanders made the announcement during a teleconference with members of his campaign. The decision paves the way for Joe Biden as the Democratic nominee to run against Donald Trump in November presidential election. Berine Sanders successfully launched the Democratic primary last February, but the victories of his main rival, Joe Biden, began with Tuesday's vote, prompting Barack Obama's deputy to step down from the left-wingy senator in Vermont. Prior to Tuesday's vote, a number of other Democratic candidates had clearly withdrawn from the race, voicing support for Joe Biden, paving the way for Biden's victory. Sanders' exit from the presidential race will pave the way for the 77-year-old Joe Biden to compete with 73-year-old Trump, who is seeking victory to his second term. Berine Sanders failed to win the final 4 years ago in Democratic primary against Hillary Clinton, promising to work with Biden to defeat Trump. After stepping down as presidential candidate, Berine Sanders moved to work with Joe Biden to defeat Donald Trump in the upcoming election. Despite the end of the campaign, efforts of justice continue. Sanders stressed that he had not easily decided to end his campaign and described it as a very difficult and painful decision. He said he had concluded that his campaign would not be successful, but added that despite the end of the campaign, efforts for justice will continue. Trump Berine supporters join Republican Party. Sanders is gone. U.S. President Donald Trump tweeted in his first reaction after Sanders' resignation, thanks to Elizabeth Warren. If it weren't for women, Berine could have won in almost every state on Holy Tuesday. The situation ended the way to Democrats, and the National Democratic Committee wanted, like Hillary's fraudulent defeat, Berine's supporters must join the Republican Party. The increase in corona victims in the United States is 2,000 for the second day in a row. The number of people infected with the deadly coronavirus in the world has exceeded $1.5 million, of which more than 400,000 live in the United States and more than 700,000 are citizens for European countries. As the coronavirus continues to spread, the number of victims in Europe increased. Governments have enacted structural laws to restrict the movement of people in countries. The quarantine period in France is set to be renewed. After 4 weeks, London is expected to pursue similar policy to Paris. $1.6 billion released in Iran. Following a central bank investigation, Luxembourg court has seized $1.6 billion in Iranian financial resources, and another court has temporarily ordered the transfer of the funds to the United States, which could be hoped for to be placed. New evidence of Chinese secrecy and the lack of timely warning from the World Health Organization, this time in Italy. In Bergamo, Italy, one of the areas with the highest number of deaths, doctors reported the first case of coronary artery disease in mid-December. China, meanwhile, officially announced a general strike on January 17. A number of elderly patients with symptoms of fever, cough, olfactory disturbance, shortness of breath, which we know to be symptoms of coronary heart disease, went to medical centers while they all received the flu vaccine. He said, "We had 33 deaths in this area in December." Thank you for watching our videos. If you want to support us, don't forget to subscribe our channel. God bless you.